I've been trying to fix my little laptop because it's having some issues while running OS X, and I think I've done it. Before, sleep mode was messed up. Let's see if it'll wake up on lid open. Yes, it did. Now will it actually wake up, or will it restart? That is the question. Oh, it restarted. I thought I fixed it. I guess not. Hey there guys, this is Silent Mist, and welcome back. Take 2 of the vlog. Earlier I vlogged and I complained, and I didn't complain well enough. I only complained crappily. Oh, and my computer just... ooh. It's finally time. It's been on my list of things to do. I'm going to open this thing up and I'm going to clean it properly, because it gets really hot. And I'm curious to see if just replacing the thermal paste will make it run any less hot, because, geez, this thing gets really toasty. Also, hello there, guys. This is Silent Mist, and welcome back to the vlog. Take 3. Take 1, complained, did not do a good job of complaining. Maybe I'll complain about what I complained about earlier, but for now, that's not the main focus. I am done with most of my work for the night. I had a lab due at midnight, which I submitted like 15 minutes ago, and then I have this thing, which is 3 out of 4 questions done, and the last question isn't exactly that difficult. It's just figuring out which of the 2 is larger and sticking that one first. But that's not what I'm doing right now. Right now, the focus is taking this thing apart and replacing the thermal paste. So it shouldn't be too difficult. I've taken it apart a couple of times in the past. The hardest thing is just, actually getting around to doing it. But no, actually though, I am just going to be taking this thing apart, finding the heatsink, and then ripping it off and reapplying the thermal paste, because I'm fairly certain that it's never been replaced before, and if it was done poorly, then that would explain the crazy temperatures that I've been getting. Otherwise, well, this is all for naught, and I just wasted like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of my time, but that's okay, because I've been working, like, all day long, and this is my way of saying that I'm taking a break for at least a little while. Just a little while. Not too long. Let's see, how the heck does this thing come out? Okay, I'm gonna take this thing apart, and then I will be back after it is in pieces. So here's the inside of the computer. I'm tempted to swap out this 8 gigabytes of RAM with the 16 gig set that's in the laptop, the big laptop, bringing both computers to 16 gigs. Right now, that computer has 24, this one has 8, just because you can never have enough memory. But I am actually looking at this, trying to figure out how the heck do you take this apart. And what I think I need to do is remove all the screws around the perimeter and then pop this metal casing off, because the heatsink that I care about is underneath here, and then it's connected to this fan. So it doesn't seem like that's easily removable from right over here, so I guess... is that the processor? That might not even... I think that is, because it doesn't seem like much else is connected over there. I also thought the processor was socketed, but I guess not. It seems to be soldered onto the board, so I guess this is going to call for much more drastic disassembly measures, but gotta be careful not to show you guys my Windows product key. But I replaced the wireless card in this laptop when I first got it with one that was compatible with OS X and that was also wireless AC. There's currently an SSD in here, a 240 gigabyte Samsung 840 EVO, and then just 8 gigs of RAM. Nothing too special, but it all works. Now I just have to figure out how the heck do I get back here. Darn this thing, it's all metal reinforced, so it's really hard to take apart. Okay, luckily I have a guide, although none of it tells me how to get to the parts that I care about. It's just like all the easy stuff that's really easy to get to, and I don't want to get to that. I want to get to the rest of the stuff. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Oh, wait, this looks like a much better thing. I don't know. Back to looking at how the heck to do this. I think I bit off a little bit more than I wanted to, because that's a lot of screws that need to be removed, and the keyboard needs to be removed on top of that. I don't think I'm going to replace the thermal paste on the heatsink, guys, because that's a little much. However, I'm looking at the memory usage on the other laptop, and it's currently hovering at 10.5 out of 24 gigs being used, which means that despite running 2 Minecraft servers right now that have been up and at it for quite some time, it's not using anywhere near all the memory that it has. So I think I'm going to swap out the RAM because, I mean, this thing's already open, so I might as well. And having a little bit more memory to go would probably be a wonderful thing. If only the darn thing didn't overheat. Maybe sometime in the future, just not now, because I don't have the time to take all of this apart yet. But the future will let me do that. Hopefully. Have you ever wondered what happens when you turn on a computer when it doesn't have any RAM installed? Because I've removed it. I know what happens, but... Oh, wow, okay, I was gonna say, that was a little bit more nothing than I was expecting. But if you ever try to turn on a computer without any RAM, this is what happens. Absolutely nothing. Because, oh, and it just turns itself off. Okay, that's pretty cool. Holy crap, this thing is light. Almost just pulled it right off the table. But I've removed the memory from the computer, I've shut down the tank of a laptop, and now I have to actually take that one apart so I can throw the RAM into this one. Exciting stuff. Now, this laptop is really easy to take apart because I lost one of the screws, and it just so happened to be the single screw that holds everything together. So, it's literally as easy as that. Boom. You just rip off the top and access to whatever the heck you need. So, this guy right here is the G75VX. I've had this computer for quite some time. I got this right before I came to college, so this is almost 3 years old. Still kicking and doing perfectly fine. The only real improvements that have happened in computers have been mobile graphics cards and, I guess, better heat dissipation, not heat dissipation, but, what am I trying to say? Better power efficiency, which leads to less heat production, which just makes it so you can, cram more power in less space. But neither portability nor graphics really matter to me when it comes to my laptop. I mean, this thing has a, what does it have? It has a 670 MX, which isn't that great, to be perfectly honest, but it is more than enough for what I need in a mobile computer. Has 16 gigs of RAM, has like 1.25 terabytes worth of space, yeah, not a terabyte, 2.125 terabytes, there we go. A terabyte and an eighth, no, 2 terabytes and an eighth worth of space, and that's because this thing has 2 drives and an SSD in it. Unfortunately, the SSD is pretty small. It's the first SSD that I ever got, the 128 gigabyte one that I threw into my desktop years and years ago. The SSDs have all moved around quite a bit in all of my computers. Like, let's see. Originally, the 128 gigabyte one used to be in that one, and then it moved to this one, and the 840 Evo that was in here was moved to that one, and then the 840 was moved into this one, because the thing, oh geez, I hope I didn't just show the thing, the 840 was moved into this, because this has SATA 3, and it needed a little bit more space, so I did that. And now the old crappy 240 gigabyte drive is in here because SATA 2 is slow and that's as good as I can go. But now that I can't get this thing together with one hand, I'm going to try this. How the heck do I do this? This is impossible with one hand. Maybe if I like... Okay, I need to reassemble these while I am I have 2 hands. Today has been a very difficult day when it comes to recording the vlogs. I definitely just talked to a camera that wasn't recording for the last 5 minutes. But what I was doing before I was talking to the camera for 5 minutes was telling you guys that everything seems to be working perfectly fine. And oh my god, there are too many windows in the way. I close it and it's just like, you sure you want to close it? I'm like, yep, yes I am. But right now I'm just trying to check out some things because right now I'm having an issue where the memory in this computer is detected perfectly fine, except it's running at a speed that it should not be. It should be running at 1600 megahertz and it's currently running at 1333, which is slower than it's supposed to be. So I'm checking over here to see if this is the right speed, and let's see, yep, it's DRAM, so it's this speed times 2, so it's running just under 1600 megahertz. So then, why the heck is this one running at the wrong speed? Let's see, I'll start this one up, and then, I don't remember which key gets me to the boot menu. I think it's F12. Then I should be able to get to the BIOS from here and figure out what the heck is going on, because this is not running at the right speed. Yes, you can see that's at 1333. That's supposed to be at 1600. Huh. That's weird, and I don't think there's a way for me to change that easily. Let me go to performance, maybe? No, none of this stuff is
meant to be tinkered with. Usually you don't need to tinker with RAM speeds, but for some reason this is reading it as the wrong speed. Huh. I might have to look into this to figure out what the heck was going on, because that's really slow. That's not supposed to be that slow. That's supposed to be faster. Aww. Okay. Figure out what the heck is going on.
Why can't computer upgrades just be... I figured out what the problem was. Unfortunately, there is no solution as far as I can tell. Basically, RAM has a lot of weirdness around it with how it does certain things. Specifically, RAM has like a lot of different profiles that are set up, so basically, how do I explain this? So, memory, for like DDR3 memory is rated to run at a certain speed. 1333 megahertz, 1600, 1866, 2133 I believe is another one, just a bunch of speeds. Technically, I believe processors up until pretty much everything that's on DDR3 only officially supports up to like 1600 megahertz, but it has no issue clocking up that memory and using faster memory. So, because the spec technically only allows for like 1600 megahertz, in order to get around that, there are a lot of things that you have to do. One of the things that's done is making something called an XMP profile, which is basically a set of settings that say, hey, run this memory at these settings, it should work perfectly fine. So you set that in the BIOS, and you're good to go. In the case of that computer, the big tank computer, not the desktop, the laptop, perfectly fine. It finds the XMP profiles and uses them. That's great. However, on this Dell Latitude E6330, the first thing I found is Dell E6330 does not support XMP RAM profiles, which means I'm out of luck. I can't make the memory run at higher speed than 1333 megahertz unless I do some janky overclocking, which I've been trying to do, but I've been unable to do. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but at the very least, let's see, this thing now says 16 gigs. Unfortunately, it's only 1333 megahertz, but I mean, still, 16 gigs on this little laptop. I like the sound of that. What am I going to do with 16 gigabytes, you might ask? Nah, whatever I normally do. I am the kind of guy that's just like, yeah, give me all the RAM. I could use more of it. But actually, I could use more of it. It's not like I'm doing any extreme video editing on this little laptop, or any video editing for that matter. But, yeah. It's unfortunate that I can't make the memory run at the speed that I want it to run at. But, I guess that's a lot of computer stuff for today. I wasn't really planning for today to be a giant computer video, but sort of ended up happening. It's late. It's past midnight. I once again need to finish this crazy stuff up, and then probably do some coding before the night ends, because I have a lab due tomorrow. Not tomorrow, due on Friday not a lab, a project due on Friday that I need to get started on. So, I'm going to end things off here. I do hope that you enjoyed today's videos. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So, yesterday I recorded a few videos. Both one is the one on the Feed the Beast server and one on the vanilla server. So, every time yesterday I was so happy to vlog about OBS, but every time OBS updates, I swear it resets a bunch of preferences, and all of my audio settings got changed. And as a result, the audio was recorded really incorrectly. The mixing, I couldn't do mixing in post because normally I record the voice channel and the game audio to their own separate channels, which just basically allows me to easily adjust their levels individually. However, it didn't do that and recorded both channels to both tracks. And as a result, the sound of both of them was messed up. It was actually so bad in the vanilla one that I can't use it. And I was able to do some tomfoolery with the Feed the Beast one to make it at least, like, acceptable. But they're both kind of iffy still. So, I didn't trash the vanilla video that I made. Instead, I just listed it as... Well, it's not listed yet. It's uploaded, but it's going to be episode 0, and it's probably going to be listed privately with, like, a link from episode 1 if you want to watch episode 0, but... That's what happens from time to time. I fixed it, so hopefully that won't happen again in the future, but it's still annoying that it happened in the first place. But now I'm going to end off the vlog. So I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all again tomorrow. So until then, insert outro here.